Shalom, shalom. This is the brother number one from GMS London Forecasters coming to you with another lesson. In the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. The word of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai for allowing me to do this lesson. Double honors, as always, to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings and much love to the brothers out there doing this work in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So, I just want to get into this article real quick. It's irksome, man, having to read things like this. And that's Esau all over, man. He's got to pervert things. If you haven't noticed in these last days, man, these devils have been really pushing this whole alphabet thing, so much so that they're pushing onto the animals, man. And that's just sick, I mean, you look at the title, the headline there says, "Gay penguins become foster parents." Then it goes on to say same-sex couple of Humboldt penguins are now raising a baby chick whom they helped incubate. So there's a vast contrast between gay penguins and the same-sex two same-sex penguins merely providing safety for their species, man. That's all it is. That is all that is, all right? They're not homosexual, all right? They're not engaging in same-sex activities. They just happen to be two male penguins that are furthering the growth of their species, man, by looking after the young. But Esau's got to change it into this whole alphabet business, as we call it, So, let me just read a little bit of this. I don't need to go too deep. So it says the Rosamond Gifford Zoo's colony of Humboldt penguins has grown to 28 on January the 1st. The newcomer chick stands out for being the first one at the Syracuse, New York conservation facility to be brought into hatching by a same-sex pair, the zoo reported. And this isn't even really major news, man. Why is it so major to them? All right. Why? Because they want to push this agenda that they have, man. It says during this, I'm going to skip certain bits of this. It says during this breeding season, they did so with a freshly bonded pair of male birds named Elmer and Lima. Interestingly, Elmer received his name after the brand of glue which keepers used to fix the shell of his egg, which got damaged by his parents. In mid-December, the egg was placed in the nest that they built after the couple demonstrated that they could take care of a dummy first. So here we have this tweet. Two penguins with the rainbow in between, like as if these penguins are a part of their community. There's the alphabet community. It's ridiculous, man. Like major news, like we have some very exciting news. The first chick to be fostered by a pair of same-sex penguins. And why is it major news to them? Because it's just furthering their philosophies, man. Their doctrine that they're trying to push out there in the world, man. Which is really meaningless because it isn't what they're trying to make it out to be. But then you'll have people in that community saying, well, the animals do it. No, the animals don't do it, man. It's not on the same wavelength, all right? It's not on the same frequency that what they're doing. It's merely survival, all right? That's all it is. All right? So, yeah, it says same-sex couples of various species of penguins fostered eggs in the past at several other institutions in Spain, Germany, Brazil, and the US. Director Fox said the latest example in Syracuse should be taken as an inspiration as inspirational by humans when they consider what a successful family should look like. So basically what they're saying is successful families now can contain or should contain parents of the same sex. And that's basically what they're pushing here. So really they're just using this to further their agenda, man. The story isn't really about the chick. It's just about, hey, let's look at this. We've got two gay penguins, so therefore it's, it must be all right, and I'm not going to get into the laws. We already know the laws, man. I'm not going to read all of that, all right, but we'll get some scriptures. So I'm going to start here, man, right, near the beginning, right, Genesis 6, right, and this is, the Lord's instructing Noah to build the ark, right. So I want to skip down. Right, so I've started 17. Context, it says, "And behold, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die." Right, so the Lord's looking to do a reset, yeah, because of the wickedness, man. Just like He's gonna have to do a reset, very much soon, because of the iniquity on this earth has reached an all-time high, and we see that in that story. And to some, that story might not be that deep, but it is really, man. All right. It says, "But with thee I will establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee, and of every living thing of all flesh, right, two of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female." All right. So that's the order, right? Even for the animals, all right. And also, just as a side note, it says two of every sort, right? Right. Or you could say well, it's going to tell you, but you could change that word for sort. You could change that word sort for kind, right? So basically, when atheists want to dispute the fact that Noah brought on every animal 2 by 2, right? It says there every sort, which means, you know, you have different types of spiders, right? Different types of snakes, different types of goats, different types of horses, different types of cats, there's different types, but they're of the same species, right? So it's not like every particular species of spider or goat or fish was brought onto the any type of animal that was brought onto the ark, man. It's just two of every kind, right? See, if you understand what these words mean, you can dispel, what atheists and non-believers, or whatever you want to call them, would call, a fantasy or contradiction in the scriptures, all right? Anyway, that was just a little side note there. So, right, it says of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind, two of every sort shall come unto thee to keep them alive, right? So we saw the order right there, man. It says, verse 19, I'll read it again, "And of every living thing of all flesh, two of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female." So there's the order right there, man. So even if you have two penguins that are literally just taking care, trying to raise one of their own, it does not make them homosexual, all right? Which is what they're trying to allude to, all right? And that's Esau with his wordplay, all right? I want to quickly jump to James quickly. Right, James 3 and 5, it says, "Even so the tongue is a little member and boasteth great things. Behold how a great matter a little fire kindleth, right? And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it setteth and it is set on fire of hell, right? Basically, the tongue, man. Actually, let me jump down to 8. It says, but the tongue, this is the point, but the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. See, so basically the point of that verse there is that the tongue, man, is a powerful weapon, all right? And Esau's using his tongue to indoctrinate everybody, man. And repetition is the key for them. They keep repeating things and keep drumming it into people's heads until they believe it. Now you ask people, are they gay animals? And they'll say, yeah, well, the penguins are gay. You know, there's gay penguins. All right? Esau is very tricky, man. All right? Very tricky. You know, there's an absolute agenda behind that story there. And like I said, you're led to believe is, you know, if you're, well, really and truly, anyone that's going to read that is going to read right over the fact that, you know, a chick was reared, you know, to further the species of that particular animal, which Esau does its best to destroy, does his best to destroy all animals on the earth anyway, right? And then when he saves a couple, he wants to act like he's the hero, right? No, it's not really about that. It's about what's behind the story, which is, according to them, gay penguins, man. The Lord didn't set it up like that, all right? It's not expedient for that, because it would not further any of the species, man. That's part of the reason why you're not supposed to do that, all right, as human beings, let alone animals, all right? But it's an abominable thing. Isaiah 24. I'm just going to jump to the point. It says, verse 5 says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. So this whole earth is defiled, man. The people are defiled mentally, physically, and spiritually. Even the animals are being defiled. The land is defiled. The air is defiled. The food is defiled. The water, everything is defiled, man. The iniquity that this devil has spread upon the earth is beyond measure. He has to go. This is a future prophecy, man. Isaiah 14:12 says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? So first and foremost, Lucifer and Satan are not the same. Satan is a angel on the left hand side, right, of the Most High, a servant, right? Lucifer means light bearer, and Luciferians, man, are these Edomites, all right, the Illuminati, as some people might call them, right? The top level elites, yeah. They're Lucifer, right? It says, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? With all their, you know, with their wars and their poisonous rhetorics, you know, their agendas, so much so that, you know, all these universities now, man, are spewing, these universities and the young people that are attending them are spewing so much garbage, so much new age I don't know what really the word to use for that, man, because I don't want to start using political terms. But in the political world, they'll be known as lefties or leftists, man. All right. Ultimately, do what thou will, accept everything. Generation. That's what we're dealing with now, man. Anyway, let me get back to the point. It says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the stars of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." So he's determining now what is what. We read in Genesis 6 how the Lord set it up, man, for the creatures, for the beasts, as well as mankind, male and female, all right, to continue to produce and reproduce, all right. But no, Esau wants to do it his way because he thinks he is the Most High. Verse 15 says, "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell," meaning that condition, to the sides of the pit. It says, "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened up the house of his prisoners?" All right? Because he's going to be brought down low, man, for all of this. Just going to get a couple more scriptures, man. So I'm just going to read the 1 to 4 here. Malachi 1, it says, "The burden of the word of the Lord, Yahweh, to Israel by Malachi." It says, "I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, Wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness." Here's the point. It says, "Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return and build. We will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call in the border of wickedness." Right? The people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. This is the border of wickedness, meaning they are the epitome. They are the height. They are the realm. They are the. They are the bounds of it, right? Of wickedness, man. There's not a more wicked nation on the earth than the Edomites, man. They are created to be that way. They're created to be that way, man. I don't know if this was what I wanted actually. Well, actually, I'll just read this. It wasn't what I was looking for, but Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 41, or Sirach 41. And 8, it says, "Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High Power, for if ye increase it." it shall be to your destruction. So all these things that they're doing, right, just to end it on this, all these things that they're doing, all these agendas they're pushing, and like I said at the beginning of this lesson, man, that agenda is heavy on the earth right now, like heavy. Billboards, TV shows, movies, they want to put it in the comic book industry. They're literally, there's a saying, going woke to go broke, meaning that they're putting all these agendas in all popular culture, right? Turning people away from the things they actually, usually enjoy, just to further this agenda. We're talking about a very small minority of people on the earth, and it seems to be that they're catering to these very small minority of people, man. Why is that? Because it goes against the laws of the Most High Power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and causes utter confusion on the earth, man. Alright? And destruction is on its way for that. This is how we know in the last times, man. Like I said, there's a heavy spirit of that out there in the world right now, man. They want to teach it in the schools, in the universities, the colleges, on your TV shows, your movies. Now the animals are doing it. Alright? So yeah, man. I think I'm going to close out on that. Lord willing, there's some edification in this lesson. Once more, I want to give all the praises and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, for allowing me to do this lesson. With that, I'll say Shalom.